this dough was my second attempt. So second batch that's been lost now because you see how nice it stretches? But then it just starts to fall apart. And that will not work because as you try and shape it, well, it falls apart. So we're going to put a lid on this guy and probably dilute it and water the garden with it. So back to the drawing board. Okay, so for this batch, I'm going to be adding the chopped up garlic that's stirred with a little bit of olive oil to encase it and protect it from leaching its garlic juice all over the final dough. Because what ends up happening is the garlic has certain properties in it that will actually break down your gluten structure. And you're left with dough that can't hold itself, meaning it won't shape right, and that's not fun. Now this batch worked out beautifully. It's nice and smooth. I'm going to reach for a little piece. Now I can already feel that it's very taut, that it's kind of like pulling on a rubber band. You feel that pullback. And I can hold it like I did the last one, and it's not tearing. In fact, it's trying to pull itself back down. Time to shape the bread. Yes! I'm going to sprinkle it with some flour just so that I can manage it because, again, it's super sticky. And let's see if I can get this thing to transfer over without making too much of a mess. Alright, we're in. Now typically it rests in this final shape here for about anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes depending on the dough, depending on where it's at, what I feel it needs. But we're going to give it 5 minutes and you'll start to see, in fact, I'm starting to see now, if we can zoom in, that it's starting to split open. So watch what happens after 5 minutes. So it's been about 3 minutes and you can already see that starting to tear open and get all rough looking again versus nice and smooth. So when I bake this, what's going to happen is that's just going to tear right open and it's going to be super flat like focaccia versus nice and fluffy like a larger loaf. Yep. So let's try it. Okay, so we're hot out of the oven, and as you can see, the big difference in volume here. Plus, I had to add that extra flour to just to be able to handle it. So that's gonna kind of leave you with a chalky flavor to the palate, which will mask the actual flavors of the bread. And well, you're looking at kind of a flatter focaccia type bread where it's very heavy, very dense, and really what you're looking for is kind of nice, light, springy, and airy texture. So if you are going to add fresh garlic to your recipe, I suggest either garlic press, which is what I did on this last batch, or chop it up really fine, either way. But running an immersion blender and just creating a garlic liquid was way too devastating to the gluten for these failed attempts. So, thanks for watching, and happy baking!